Hi, we welcome you to our YouTube coverage. Today's subject is Fitch's recent country's rating of BBB minus. The purpose of this deliberation is to discuss what it really means to India, what it really means to the investors of the country, what it really means to the economy of the country. But before we go to the deliberations, we earnestly request you to please listen this lecture carefully and also like our video and give your esteemed comments about the video, about the subjects which you are thinking us to deliberate. Therefore, we can come out with other videos on relevant subjects. Please like it and also please subscribe it. Friends, Fitch has recently affirmed India's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating at BBB minus. It indicates a stable outlook backed by robust growth outlook and abating core inflation pressure. But it concerns for having a very high fiscal deficit. This decision has significant impact on the country's economy and particularly for the investing community. Before we discuss about the rating, let us know what are the various ratings and where India falls. Base rating, you can say highest credit quality, lowest default risk is AAA. Then very high credit quality is AA. High credit quality is single A. Good credit quality is BBB. And lower end of investment grade rating is BBB minus. And we fall into the lower end of this category. But it has a stable outlook and supported by robust growth. Now you can ask me a question, why and what for these ratings are made. Ratings are very essential whenever you go for sourcing your capital from foreign sources. They would like to see what is the country's rating. They will not only see your operational surplus, your growth, your prospect, they will also see your country's rating structure. If the country has a default rating structure, they will not invest money. Or if they invest, the rate of interest will be very high. So therefore, the country's rating is very important. Now, Fitch has considered 12 specific factors before assigning this BBB minus rating to India. In today's deliberations, we'll discuss what are those areas that are extremely important to get a better rating. Fitch has considered 12 specific factors before assigning this particular credit rating to the country. This is very important to know by all students professionals, professors, teachers as to how credit rating of a country is fixed by a world-reputed rating agency like Fitch, and why these are important. First factor is growth. Fitch considered that India has the potential to register a robust growth. But at the same time, it recognized that the country's fiscals are weak. When I talk about country's fiscals, I basically wanted to mean the fiscal deficit of the country. As you know, due to COVID and other many factors, India's fiscal deficit in terms of monetary value for central government is about 17 lakh crores estimated for 23-24. So first factor is robust growth but weak fiscals. Second is that Fitch has considered that high GDP growth, but there are headwinds. When I talk about headwinds, it basically means fiscal deficit, inflation, unemployment, growth of the world. This year, that is 23-24, our country has projected a growth of around 6% during 23-24, supported by resilient investment prospects. But still, headwinds prevail, that is high interest rate, subdued global demand, pandemic-induced pent-up demand. These are the major areas of concerns, and inflation is one of the most important factors. Although the CPI, that is Consumer Price Index, has reduced, it is around 4.7% during April 23, but still it is above the range of Reserve Bank of India, which is 2 to 4%. Next, Fitch has also considered that the country can maintain medium-term outlook as robust. Strong growth potential is a key supporting factor for the sovereign rating. Growth prospects have brightened as the private sector appears poised for stronger investment growth following the improvement of corporate and bank balance sheets. You all know that the bank balance sheet have been cleaned up in the last 3-4 years, supported by the government's infrastructure drive. Fourth most important conditions or factor Fitch has considered that India has a huge domestic growth and domestic consumption because of its very high populations. We have around 140 crore people, and 65% of our total populations is within the age bar of 35 years. So there is a huge potential for consumptions, and that has been considered in the fourth place of the Fitch rating process. Next, 5 is the country is continuously improving its financial sector. Financial sector means banks, NBFCs. Today is the day when SBI's results are expected to come for 22-23, and we all expect there will be a spectacular growth of SBI, the country's major bank. So sustained improvements in asset quality and profitability have led to a strengthening of bank balance sheet. Sixth, moderating inflation. As I have explained that the India's inflation, which was above 5%, has now reduced to around 4.7% in April 23. This is also a very important, but from international point of view, 4.7% inflation is still a very, very high proposition. We need to reduce below 4% as per mandate given by Reserve Bank of India. Now, we have a deficit, but there is a modest deficit. When we talk about the deficit, it basically deals with fiscal deficits. Now, there is a challenging consolidation path. What it means? It means the government's medium-term fiscal guidance retains its deficit target of 4.5% of the GDP by financial year 26, which means 25-26. We have to keep our fiscal deficit below 4.5%. This is what the government has taken a projections. However, we believe it will be challenging to achieve this target, which would require accelerated consolidations per year in 25 and 26. Another area of concern is very, very important for economics or financial professions, that high public debt. India's total public debt is 82.8% in financial year 22-23, which is considered to be very high. And if we need or if we expect that our rating will be improved to BBB, we have to keep the debt burden below 55.4%. That means today we have around 82.8% as the total debt of the country. And if we want a further improved rating to BBB, we have to reduce at 55.4%. This is very challenging task. India has a current account deficit, 10th point, but it is narrowing. What is current account deficit? Current account deficit is basically deficit of current account transactions in foreign currency. Because our exports are lower than imports. Why? Because of the import of crude oil at a very high price, although the price has come down to around $75. It was $120, $130. So our trade deficit was very high. But now the trade deficit has started coming down, import has reduced, exports are moderate, not increased, but the oil price has come down, and as a result, India current account deficit is narrowing, and that is a very, very positive. Now, in this regard, I would like to tell you that India had a peak foreign exchange reserve of around $642 billion. But in the last 1.5 years, we reduced and we lost huge foreign exchange because of higher prices of the oil and gold input. But I like to share with you that again India is coming out slowly, and now its foreign exchange reserve has reached to $595 billion in the last week, and hopefully maybe within another 6-7 months we'll get back to our original peak amount of $642 billion. So that is also a very comfortable area so far our country is concerned. Regarding resilient external liquidity buffers, as I have already explained that our liquidity buffer is around $596 billion. Now, in terms of ESG, we have achieved ESG relevance score of 5 for political stability and rights and 5 plus for the rule of law, institutional and regulatory quality and control corruptions. These scores reflect the high weight that the World Bank governance indicators have in our proprietary sovereign rating model. Friends, to just sum up, what are the 12 major factors? One is that robust growth, high GDP growth, but within headwinds, robust medium-term growth, India's huge domestic consumption because of large amount of population, fiscal factors are improving. 6, inflation has started coming down. It is around 4.7%, but we have to work further. 7th, modest deficit reductions and challenging consolidation path. 9th, high public debt burden that goes against the country's rating process, but we have to improve. Current account deficit is narrowing, so there is no question of default. You may be aware that many of our neighboring countries are now in the brink of default. But India has a huge foreign exchange reserve, so therefore there is no question of any default. Resilient external liquidity liability, ESG governance is also very comfortable. These are the 12 factors Fitch has considered while affirming BBB minus rating to the country. Although BBB minus rating is the last grade of the rating of Fitch, but it indicates a stable outlook backed by robust growth outlook and abating core inflation pressure. But there are concerns for deficits. This decision of the Fitch has significant implications for India's economy and financial stability. Friends, hopefully these deliberations will be helpful to you to understand the rating process, the factors that are considered while affirming or allotting any rating. And if you like this video, please like it and also subscribe and also give your comment. Thank you very much.